Yep, hi all, welcome. Yep, so you might remember I put a video on about week ago, roughly 10 days ago. Basically, the battery for the V4 had partially packed up, so the lights would work, but there was not enough output or current, in order to power the motor. And I knew this because I swapped the battery round with a tiny little test battery from a drone that happens to have the same connector on, and that worked absolutely fine. So yes, it was the battery which was just dud. So anyway, went on eBay, bought a new battery, about £10. There it is there. Could not find any batteries anywhere at all that had the same connector on. Honestly, I looked through tons and tons of batteries, trying to find out also, what the connector was. It was like a 2.5mm connector of some variety, but basically I found these on loads of small batteries, but no bigger batteries. Maybe it's custom made for the V3s and V4s. So the plan for this one here is obviously I can just cut off the connector and solder it on. But I'm actually going to have a look and just see if I can just unsolder it straightly from the battery there and straight on here. Obviously I don't want to damage anything, so obviously soldering on there of course is quicker, but to do it more professionally would be nice to go straight onto there without me having to have a join and heat shrink and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, let me have a go. Got the little bits and bobs out and let's go for it. Right, and yeah, okay, I've had a look. So what I did is on this battery here, the terminals are really obvious and they're obviously very, very large as well. Much easier to get to, and they're sort of clipped in here, so potentially it was all right. But this one here, I have peeled, you see I've cut it open and peeled it open. But basically the wires are very, very small and they're actually kind of like wedged in between this cell and some metal and then the board there. Whilst you just about can get the soldering tip in there, it's just not worth it, sort of, because the two terminals are so close together, millimeter, and that sort of distance. It's not worth the risk, I would say. So and obviously the lipos, leaving it inside your house, that kind of stuff is not really worth fanning around with. So I think if you get that battery there, you can swap it over. This one here, you can't swap it over very easily, I would say. So I'm just gonna cut this wire off here and solder onto there with some heat shrink. Cool. Right, and yeah, as you see, battery's done. Just soldered all together and a bit of extra heat shrink on top as well. Dated the battery May 24. So yeah, now I'm gonna put it in and see how it goes. Right, and yeah, just connect up the battery. It's that terminal on the left-hand side, just there. We're using the tweezers, really easy. Put the battery into a slot. Now, obviously, if you're gonna wear the shoes, then of course you can put that extra sort of padding and insulation back around the battery. So take off the old battery, maybe with some heat, or just put something similar on, just to add that additional protection like the factory does. But I don't wear these shoes, they're just for display in the car, that's all. So I'm now gonna close up in a second and happy days. So if I just quickly test it, just down here, so it's quite sunny. Boom, lights are on. Let me zoom out a bit. Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. So like I say, under a tenner, and obviously some effort, but realistically you're bound to have to replace the batteries in your 3s and your 4s, so getting it open is the hard part. Like I've said on the previous video, just be very, very careful, because remember, all of those connectors are generally speaking glued to the bottom of this pink liner. And all the wires are all the wires are super thin, super delicate, right pain to get to, because you've got no capacity really to pull any of the wires out other than the battery wire, because they're all obviously the right length. So just be careful when you open it up not to cut through the wires. Nice one. Cheers all.